Hi, welcome to Reality Stitches.
Where reality TV meets cross stitch.
I'm Barbara Johns, otherwise known as Stitching with Grammy.
And I'm Neil at Neil and Needle.
Yay! How you doing, Neil?
I'm great, Barbara. How are you?
Awesome! This beautiful Labor Day weekend, long weekend. I had Friday off. We get Monday off. Woo!
I know. I am also pumped about having a long weekend. I'm going to a brunch tomorrow, so
Ooh,
I'm
yay!
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy Tuesday working at home, but Wednesday we all have to go into the office and I'm dreading it. I
Boo.
know. I don't want to do that, but again, our Republican legislators are pushing the governor and the Democrats to make us go back, and so we're just pretending on Wednesday. We're doing it so that we
Pretending.
can well, we're doing it so we can say, well, we get together all the time. We don't need to work, every single day. So it is what it
Yeah.
is. But please pray for our sanity to not have to go back in.
Oh yeah. My previous job, we were remote for 2.5 years, during the pandemic and after. And then when we did RTO, we had to do 3 days in the office, 2 days at home. And that transition was, yeah, not fun. So hope that you don't have to return to the office.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how did you enjoy week 7 of Big Brother?
It was pretty good. I'm telling you, we're getting down to not as many people in the house, and it is a clear your side, my side, and there's Vince, it seems, is in the middle and playing
Yeah.
both sides. And he's gonna get himself into a world of hurt because he's playing both sides. It's
Yeah.
and
And
even
he's not playing both sides well.
no, because even people that he's talking to on the Lauren, Kelly, Keanu. He's got a final two with all of them. At some point, they're going to tell each other, right?
Right.
How can he
Yeah.
do that? And then he's like trying to work with Rachel. And of course, Morgan hasn't got a final two with Ashley, though. Who knows if that's coming? Him and Will got pretty tight. So I'm like, this dude he's a gardener in every pot.
He really is. And it's just like, I don't know, like every single person on the non-judges side of the house, they're all like, in the diary room saying like Vince has lied to me over and over again. He's
Mm-hmm.
burned me 3 times. And yet
Right.
here I am. So I don't believe him, but I'm going to have to go with it, I guess. It's just like it's so interesting cuz it's like he's not successfully playing both sides, but he's also not declaring for one side or the other, which I
Right.
think he should just do. Like,
Right. You know,
he's going to he's making them mad anyway. So it's like, go in on an alliance and be
right.
about that alliance. Like,
Exactly. And if Morgan really truly is his ride or die final two and the others are just to kind of keep him out there, Morgan's in the judges. So
right.
take it and run. But I don't know if you noticed when Catherine got evicted and she went out to talk to Julie and Julie told her about the judges. Did you notice the pictures?
They had the wrong
They had
ones.
Mickey in there and she's not in the judges.
I know. I cannot believe that.
I know. And I didn't notice it either. We had some super sleuths on, in all the feeds that come up in,
Right.
not the
Yeah.
feeds, but on, that were saying, hey, out on Facebook and TikTok and all that, they were saying, oh no, they got the wrong. Come on, CBS, do better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this week, the Sunday episode started with BB Unlocked, Big Brother Unlocked. So Derek and Taylor were there, and they had the special guest, our friend Boston Rob, who has been on Survivor, what do you say, 5 times? He's been
Right.
on The Amazing Race twice. We know he's been on the Traders a few times. I don't know what other shows he's been on, but he is reality king, as they referred to him.
Yeah, I think his Chiron said like reality TV legend,
Yeah.
I think was his title that they put under.
Oh,
And
and he
I
was
really
on.
love Boston Rob.
I do too. He was on. Oh, Deal or No Deal Island.
Yes, how did I forget that?
Yes,
I watched that. I watched that. I love Deal or No Deal Island.
I love that season, but the next season when Dr. Will was on, Dr.
Yeah,
Will, you got to go back and watch first, second season. I don't know what season he was on of Big Brother. That's
right.
Dr. Will and his buddy Boogie, and they ran the freaking house the whole time. And that's when Big Brother first came out. Oh my gosh, he was cool back then, but he's a plastic surgeon and it went to his freaking head. And now when he
Oh.
was on that Deal or No Deal Island, you could tell his face was so full of Botox, it didn't move. Yeah, I'm gonna go and get that. No, dude, no, come on, quit injecting yourself. So anyway, they talked on Big Brother Unlocked. That Boston Rob isn't really a super fan, but he liked some of the people that he had heard of, that he knew of. Janelle is a huge one. She's played several times in All Star. She won her season, I think. He remembered Rachel from back then, and he's really rooting for her this year. They wanted him to do a comparison with Survivor,
He
and
said there's no crying on Survivor.
right, right. I was just gonna say he went into. I mean, they showed clips of everybody crying. He's like, "What is going on? Why are they crying?" And it was really funny because they showed the Ava, like, when Riley went out. I don't know if people lied to her and said, "Oh, you can vote for him, but he's gonna stay," to get her to vote him out, and she was hysterical after that. And
Yeah,
then
especially because the vote was so close. So, like, had she voted the other, if she had voted Riley, Riley would have stayed.
right, right, and so
Yeah.
I think Vince lied to everybody too, didn't he? Didn't he say he voted
Yes,
for Riley to
always.
stay? That's what I thought. And I was like, dude, what is going on? Um, then they went down and talked about their big move, bad move, and they wanted Boston Rob's opinion on whether Rachel's nominations were a good move or a bad move. And Derek didn't like them. He said they weren't a very good move. Um,
Taylor said they were perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think Vinny, he's really in a no win situation because no matter what he does, he's going to piss some people off. Right?
Right. Yeah. That's what happens when there's two sides.
Exactly. And so, like you said, the dude needs to just pick a side and be loyal and stay there. I watching the live feeds, the dude is, yeah, I don't know how much longer Mr. Vinny's going to be on that show. Just saying. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. So, and then they have the rant room on Big Brother Unlocked, and they show a lot of clips. There's another section they call the cutting room floor, but they were talking about um Rachel raising kids and raising Keanu, because they don't clean. They don't. They're everybody's bitching about cleaning,
Yeah. And
and
apparently there's a ton of ants everywhere.
yes, I hate ants, but once you get some, there's a whole bunch, just like mice. If you have a mouse, you see a mouse, you're gonna have more. There's gonna be a ton of them because they go back and tell their friend, "Hey, come on, dinner's ready up here."
I know. Kelly was like, "Yeah, I've definitely had a few ants in my coffee." And I'm like, "What is going on in this house? Like, surely production could like get some ant spray or something, some ant
Right?
traps. Like
Right?
that is wild. I would nope, couldn't do that."
Yeah, so they were talking about Rob was talking about who his favorite, and he really likes Will, which was a good segue into, they had cameras all go out to Will's house to see his chocolate drop, his wife, And before he got on Big Brother, they agreed to like babysit all the grandkids. And so now the chocolate drop is there at home alone with all these grandkids. And
So
they were
many.
very well behaved. I don't know if it's just for the TV being there, but they seemed like they were really well behaved group of kids. And she was talking about how he hasn't pulled out all the outfits that she put together as his stylist. And he's like, he was telling the girls, they showed a clip of Will talking to the girls saying, "Oh, yeah, I still have outfits that my wife picked out I haven't even worn yet." And I'm like, then wear them.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, it was so funny. The kids were all sitting up at the bar in the kitchen and they were eating lunch or whatever. And so she pulls out a cucumber and said, "Hey, kids, what are these?" And they said, "Cucumbers." And then one of the little grandsons, "Okay, Grandpa, when you get back, I'll teach you what a cucumber and a zucchini is." And they went on that
So
joke.
funny.
It was hilarious. So I like how they're tying it in. And you know that the kids are watching Grandpa on TV because, that was on TV.
I loved seeing his family. I thought that
Yeah.
was such a cute segment.
Yep. I like how they did that with Rachel and Brendan and their kids too. So
Yeah.
then they go to another segment called Wine or Wine. And of course, it's Nicole, who was the winner of season 18. And she is married to Victor, who Nicole came back on a later season to play again as a all-star. What, it wasn't an all-star season. I think there were 4 vets that came back and they each had a team. And Nicole met Victor on that season, I believe. And they got married. I don't know if this is their second child or their third, but she's pregnant again. So she couldn't drink that wine. It was grape juice. But I'm really excited because she's from Ubly, Michigan. So she's a Michigan girl. Yay!
Nice.
So then they talked about the wall comp.
Oh, yeah, but before we get there, the funniest thing, Derek was like they were like, "Oh, another Big Brother baby," and then he was like, "Well, there's more Big Brother babies than The Bachelor."
Yes, I heard that. That was cool. And
Which
it's
is just
true.
funny because Big Brother isn't a like a dating show, so it's like
No,
funny that like more like successful relationships have
right.
come out of Big Brother than out of The Bachelor.
And then even Survivor. Didn't Jeff
Yeah,
Probst, didn't he marry one of the contestants? Like after they were on, they started dating
I
afterwards.
feel something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Rob and Amber, they met on
yeah,
their season and they've got 4 kids,
yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So,
And um there was another Big Brother couple. Oh, what is his name? I can't remember their names, but they were like gonna get married, and Dr. Will and Boogie proposed on finale night to the girl he fell in love with. I don't think they lasted. Um, Jordan and Jeff and Jordan, they met. They're married. I don't know how many kids they have, but yeah, there's a lot of them.
that's so
So,
fun. But yeah, then we go to the wall.
yeah, that well before that. Oh no, they did talked about the wall. The cutting room floor though, I thought was
Oh,
hilarious
right, yeah.
because they show that Big Brother wakes them up in the morning. There's a voice, "Good morning, house guests. Time to get up. It's a new day." And evidently, the first thing they have to do is go to the storage room and replace their battery packs for the day because evidently the other ones have been charging all night. So they get in there and they get their new batteries, and then Big Brother plays music. And I've never caught the live feeds to see this. I don't know if they show it, but they were showing clips of them all dancing.
All the girls dancing.
The girls dancing, they have no rhythm. Rachel has absolutely no rhythm, if you notice that. She is no rhythm at all. So I hope she never goes on Dancing with the Stars because she probably wouldn't go far. But it was funny because now they're down to only 3 boys in the house, right?
Oh,
Will,
yeah,
Keanu,
and
and
Vince.
Vince. And I'm telling you, normally it's the other way around. Normally the guys run the game and the girls are out. I don't know how many seasons they've tried to do a girls alliance and it blows up every time because somebody's in a showmance or this or that or the other. Those girls need to open their eyes, get their head. I don't want Will to go, but get Keanu and Vinny out of there and just have the girls run it to the end with
Yeah.
Will. As much as I love Will, I don't know. That man's gonna skate right to the end.
Yeah, it would be nice if they did have, like, an all-girls alliance. I
Right.
think once they get Mickey out, then they might do it, because 'cause they're all kind of, like, really wanting Mickey out. Well, and maybe I mean,
Well,
and
that
Kelly too, I don't know.
if you've seen, and I'm gonna spoiler alert, people, if you've seen live feeds, especially last night, they're talking about not getting Mickey out because if they do, then they're going to whoever, if the other side gets them, the Ashley, the Rachel, those people are then going to be the ones that they're going to put up.
Right.
Lauren, Kathy, or Kelly, Keanu, Vinny, they're always going to put Mickey up. But if they vote her out now, and they all said that she deserves to make jury because she's won a lot of comps, so she deserves to at least make the jury. But I don't know.
Yeah,
It's going to be something.
for sure.
But then they talk about their hot list, and Jerry O'Connell comes on from a boat out on a lake, and
Canoe, yeah.
he's harassing Derek because two of the three his top hot lists are: one, Zach went out; two was Vinny, and he's on the block; three is Morgan, and she's about to go out. So their hot list isn't doing very well. Um, but Rob, he put Vince as his number three. He kind of likes Vince. And of course, he did say though he has to have less crying. He
Yeah.
wants Vince, but he has to stop crying, which is true. Um, and then Rachel was his number two, and he thinks that she's really good because she's done it before, and just like on Survivor, really good at adapting. You got to
Mhm.
pick it up and change your way. Like when Jimmy went out, she was close. She had to adapt. She had to pick it up and get close to somebody else. And that's when her and Keanu got their frenemies thing going on.
Yeah.
But his favorite is Will. His number one is Will. And a lot of people are coming to him. He's a good listener, even though he's thinking about the beach or thinking about umbrella drinks or thinking about sleeping. And this week, oh, where did it comes up later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. It was hilarious what he was saying, but he really likes Will. So we'll see
Yeah.
how Rob's predictions go. But then they go out to the wall, and the first show, Andrew the intern, he goes out and talks to the designer, the set designer, and the builders and the engineer, whoever that designed it, and talk about. And he goes, "Hey, we need to test it out. You want to get up there?" And they show the intern, Andrew the intern, up there getting the water splashed on him and all that, and it was funny. And then they show Rob and Derek and Taylor up on the wall, and they really bend it to them, to get the real feel. And you could see Rob going, "Oh my gosh, this is serious." I mean, the look on his face,
Yeah.
he's like, "Whoa." And then
Yeah.
when he jumped, I thought, "Oh my gosh," the way he landed, I thought, Rob just broke his legs. He's done. He just broke his legs, but he was fine.
Yeah. They said that they use 200 gallons of slime.
I
200
know.
gallons. I was
That's
like,
insane.
that is so much slime.
Yes. And it was funny. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Kelly when they were getting the slime and she goes, "Oh, this tastes pretty good." Somebody was liking the taste of it.
Yes, Kelly. She was
Ew.
like, the blueberry tastes good.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. So then they go to Sunday's regular show and they talk about all of the recap with the Riley eviction and the fake crying by Catherine. I'm sorry. When you cry, there are real tears. I didn't see any tears. I don't know. And then they interview Rachel and she was going on and on about how she had to teach the newbies how to play the game. And then they interviewed Ava in the diary room about being pressured by Rachel to, vote a certain way, and how she freaked out, and they showed all those clips again. And then um Vince was crying to Morgan and Mickey and Rachel, and they showed him crying some more. So Rob's not
Yeah.
getting his wish.
Yeah. Yeah, Vince just like is like everyone hates me, so now I've got to do damage control, and so then he goes and cries to everyone. And I listen to a podcast every morning that does like an hour recap on what happened the previous day on the live feeds. And the episodes like don't even do justice to how much Vince cries.
Oh, I know. And I have it here in my notes. It was, oh, where did it go? Oh, it's not until way down on Thursday. It's not till way down on Thursday. And we'll get to that.
Yeah.
It was about Vince crying again, but we'll get to that. So it
Vince
was,
just constantly cries.
yeah. So they have the iconic wall comp that we talked about, that they showed everything. So we knew it was coming. If you watch the live feeds, they did show part of it when they were filming it. And they don't usually do that. Usually there's the pics, and I'm pointing at my TV here because this is where I usually watch it when I'm sewing till 3 in the morning. I got my live feeds on. Um, they usually don't show competitions like that, but they showed them up on the wall, and how Rachel was the host, and so her just overacting and and she said it like 3 or 4 times, like different takes, because they wanted her to say it a different way, and you could tell they were recording and making TV that would be edited. And they usually don't show that, but they did show the wall comp parts of it, so it was
That's
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, so the first three that fall get to be have nots.
I
So
loved this.
they still are doing have nots, but they don't really. I mean, this
Show
seems
us.
like the past couple weeks. Plus, in the live feeds I've started watching, they show it more. But man, before, when they didn't have the Blockbuster, BB Blockbuster or AI Arena, they showed a have not competition. We talked about this before, and they would give you two items in addition to the condiments that you could have and the slop you could have and the protein shakes. That's pretty much all you can have. Earlier on, they used to do peanut butter and jelly. You could have peanut butter and jelly and then all those things. Well, they did for a while that they would pick an alphabet, letter of the alphabet, and they would get two items that started with that letter, like beets and Brussels sprouts, and they'd have this big, huge display in the kitchen of all these things with beets and Brussels sprouts, or snails and Snickers, or some. I mean, it was stupid stuff that was a lot of people didn't like, liver and lollipops or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't do any of that fun stuff anymore because it's funny. And it's not in this one, but you'll see in the live feeds, Ava's on slop the next time. She loves that. She had 5 bowls of slop yesterday and she loves it. She's like, I'm going to be the first person in Big Brother history to gain weight on slop. She's like, and I remember now why I don't like watching the live feeds is because it seems like whoever they find in the season who eats like crunching and loud and mouth open, Big Brother cameras focus on that person. And they turn up their microphone, every microphone in spotlights watching them. Ava is the worst eater. I have to grab my remote and hit mute when she's on and no one else is
Yeah.
around. It's disgusting. So anyway, Ashley, Will, and Morgan are the first three off. And I'm like, Morgan, and I wrote in here, WTF. She's the most
Yeah.
athletic female there. She works out all the time. She lifts weights. She's in shape. Her body has 0% body fat. and she fell off third. What?
Yeah, she seemed pretty disappointed in herself. I think she really had wanted to do
Yeah,
well in the wall comp, and so I was shooketh that she dropped third.
I can't believe she lasted longer than Keanu, who's 240 pounds of meat.
Yeah,
Hulk. He's huge, muscle, just you know. And he lasted way longer than she did. He got out what, fourth?
yeah, I thought they all actually, like, everyone kind of lasted longer than I thought. Like, it was like a few rounds of
Yeah,
slime and water and, the tilting before anyone dropped. And I was surprised, even that Ashley and Will made it.
I know,
That,
but I'm thinking that
because they were the
they,
first two to drop, right?
and I'm
Yeah,
thinking, even though the threat of have-nots was out there, they threw that. I'm sure they didn't. I mean, neither one of them have had HOH. Neither one of them want HOH. And if you
right,
listen to the live feeds, they kind of say that. They're throwing comps left and right. Will is
right.
just lying in wait. He is just, when he needs to turn
Yeah,
it on. I mean, the dude was in the army. Come on. When he
yeah,
wants to win something, that man's going to win. Trust and believe.
yeah.
So
Agreed.
then Mickey fell after Morgan, then Ava, then Kelly, then Keanu, who was fourth out, then Lauren, then Catherine and Vinny were up there. And Vinny's like, "You want to talk about it?" Because a lot of times when it's the last two people up, whether it's the wall or the hanging swings that they do or whatever, when it's the last two, usually they talk and make a deal together. So they'll say, "Okay, here's our deal. I won't put you up next week if you win, if you let me win this time, blah, blah, blah." They come up with some kind of deal. Happens every season and they show it. And Vinny's like, "So, do you want to talk? You want to make a deal?" And Catherine's like, "No, I'm good.
Yeah,
Sorry."
she was so mad at him about the Riley vote.
Yep. She wanted it so bad. So bad. But she fell, and Vinny gets head of household. And I think that saved his life. I think if
Yeah,
she had a won, or anyone else probably, he would have been gone. He would have went home.
right, agreed.
Yeah. So he nominates Mickey, Ava, and Kelly.
Yeah. At some point in this episode, I think it was Vince, he was like, "I'm part of this judges alliance." And he was like, "But nobody's loyal to their alliances." So, like,
Right.
which
This
is
is
just
not
like so true. Like, they brought up the melting pot alliance in these episodes too, and which was Zach, Vinny, Morgan, and Mickey. And so now it's, just the three. And I was like, I completely forgot that that alliance even existed. Like, yeah, it doesn't seem like. I just feel like, yeah, people should be more loyal to their alliances.
and that's usually how it is this season. Like Rachel says, these newbies don't know how to play. And like
Yeah,
Kelly, she watched last season and then she watched the season, I can't remember what number, that Casey was on. But then like Keanu said, "Oh no, I just watched the highlights." People aren't watching. They're not super fans. Vince
right,
is. He tried to get on for 10 years. He's not playing like he's a super fan. I'm like, okay, come on.
right.
So that's pretty much that episode. And then we have to wait Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday comes. It's so long between Sunday and Wednesday. That's why I have to watch the live feeds now because it's too
Yeah,
long to wait. Plus, you get a
yeah,
lot. You know what's happening. They know that who head of household is usually Sunday night or Monday morning. You know who gets the next week.
right.
He got all the next week to either keep it a secret or spoiler alert or.
Yeah,
Yeah, so then on Wednesday they show the nomination fallout again. Ava said she expected to be nominated. Kelly felt betrayed again and she can't trust him because they have a final two, remember?
yeah.
Yeah,
Final two on day two. Yeah,
right. And Vince is like, did I say that?
Yeah, I know.
And then Mickey, her diary room session after she was nominated that they were showing on Wednesday, it kind of pissed me off. I don't know if you caught
Mm,
this, but she said she was shocked. Vince doesn't really have a backbone. And it makes sense why it took him 10 years to get here. I don't think he was ever qualified to begin with.
yeah,
That's what she
she's
said about him and trying to get on for, you know?
yeah. And her and Morgan were like arguing in the bathroom, like right after the nominations, and and Will was like, "I'm just trying to pee. I
Right.
just."
I love Will.
Yeah, but Morgan was like, "Well, I'm not HOH, Mickey. Like it's not my fault." And she was like, "But you're like running his HOH. Like you're the one who." She was like, "I just thought like Mick it's like Mickey thinks that she's best friends with all of these people. Like she doesn't realize how much of a target she is."
Right. And how much she's lying and everybody's catching her in her lies.
Right.
And they
Yeah.
all want her out. But the Rachel, Ashley, Will, that side, Morgan, they're like, wait a minute. If she gets out, we're up next, you know? So,
Right.
and then they show, I mean, Mickey was just losing her mind. She was just thinking that she's all that. And,
Mhm.
you know, Vince then has to do damage control. And he promises, we're talking vetoes now. Whoever gets the
Mhm.
veto he's making promises that if he wins it, he'll take them off. Why would you do that? You know?
Yeah.
So then Will, they do a segment again on Will, how he's such a chill dude. And they show him sitting there with his sunglasses on. And he said the thing he misses the most from home is his DVR. And that he wants to be able to fast forward conversations. Like when people are talking and he don't want to hear it. And then they showed somebody talking and they showed him fast forwarding. And then he's like, talking about he wants his remote. He wants his DVR remote with him now.
Yeah.
And they showed how somebody asked him, "Oh, remember when I told you X, Y, and Z?" And he's like, "No, I don't." And then they show it rewinding and that conversation again. It was funny. I don't know if they're looking for stuff to fill time or what, but they had some really funny clips of Will this week. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
So then they pull people for the veto. And they get Vince, of course, Kelly, Ava, Mickey. They're on the block, and then Will and Keanu are chosen. They chose Kelly's name. He pulled out Kelly's name, and she picked Keanu. So,
Which
Ava,
Kelly and Keanu, they showed a clip of them when they were on the block earlier in the season, and that they were calling themselves the Block Party,
yeah,
which was cute.
yeah. So Ava and Will were talking, and she was just going off about how bad she wants Mickey out. She does not like her at all, and I don't
Hmm.
recall why. I don't know why that split happened. I mean, they weren't real close to begin with, but I wasn't sure why. Um,
I don't
but
know
she,
either because Mickey was like all up in Ava's HOH. Like it was like
oh,
Mickey and Will. So like maybe Ava's mad about that or something.
could be. I just couldn't remember as she was talking, and I did see that earlier on the feeds too. But they showed it in the episode. I just was trying to rack my brain, trying to remember how the heck they got in so
Hmm.
such contention. But she said if she gets to pick to play, she's not taking Mickey down. And people are telling her, "Oh yeah." Mickey's asking her, "Oh, if you get it, will you take me down?" No. Mm-mm. She's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, we'll see." No, she's not doing that.
Right.
So the veto comp,
Wine to dine or wine to die for, I think was
Vince,
wine to dine for.
yeah, BB Gala on the green, and
Yeah.
it was to me the most overact part of Big Brother I have seen in my life.
Yeah.
It wasn't an authentic game because just drinking that liquid. Okay, so the premise was one person, whoever was it, and they did it by random draw, would go into another room, pick two glasses of wine. One was supposedly white, one was supposedly red, but it was more yellow and red. And then
Mhm.
they go to one person and they have to give them a poison glass of wine. And the target gets to choose the glass, but the person that's it can bluff and can lie and say whatever they want to maybe get them to switch glasses or take the one they were initially given. But whoever drinks the glass that's supposedly poison would mouth would start foaming and they would fall to their death on the second time. So they get two chances to be poisoned. But to me, those are like, it wasn't in the liquid. It's like a tablet you put in your mouth, and then when liquid hits it, it starts to foam up. So they had to know that one. I feel, people say reality TV is all staged. This competition, I would have to agree because it was so overacted, and
I
even
loved the foam. I thought it was
it
so
was funny.
fun.
And
Yeah.
even Rachel on the sidelines, because she wasn't playing, and Lauren a little bit on the sidelines.
They
You
do that
know,
in all the comps, though.
yeah, it was crazy. But it was fun. And man, woo, they all clean up really well. They were all dressed to the nines in black or white or a combination of black and white. Will, this is how a man is supposed to dress. And they all looked very nice. Keanu, it was nothing new because he had that tuxedo on during his butt thing where he had to give out pigs in a blanket on his butt tray.
I know.
It's
I was like, Keanu is constantly in tuxes.
right. So everybody looked beautiful. So the very first person up was Kelly. I think she poisoned herself, or no, Keanu. I said poisoned yourself. I didn't take very good notes on this. But anyway, they go back and forth one at a time. If you get poisoned the first time, you go over to the host, Morgan, and you get a red hat on. If you've had a red hat and you get poisoned again, you die on the floor. So Ava was the first person to die. And then it was my favorite part, my favorite duo was Vince and Ava. When Ava put out a reference to the Hog Father, which was Otev in the Otev, and
Mhm.
Vince is like, no, but little Stinky says hi or something like
Yeah,
that.
little Siki sends his regards.
Yeah, it was funny. So, I mean, they were trying to make it interesting. I know that that's kind of a boring competition. So they had to do something. There wasn't a lot of props involved, there wasn't a lot of building of sets. They had like standing high tables that they stood around. And I mean, it was not a whole lot of stuff. So they had to do something to make it
Yeah.
interesting. And it
I
was funny.
wish I wish that the wine had been the same color. I feel like it would have been harder, one, for the person to remember which glass it was,
Yeah.
and two, it would have been, I think, harder to bluff because it's like I feel like it's easier to be like, oh, like last time, because then you have, it's like, oh, last time the yellow one was the the poison, so they probably switched it up to the other one.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. I thought it would have been better if it was like two red wines. I
Right.
loved the foaming at the mouth, and then I also loved that they stayed on the ground after they died
Yeah. Ava laid
for
there
the whole
forever.
competition. Yeah.
And it was funny afterwards in the live feeds, they were talking about it. And that's how you kind of put two and two together and then figure out who won the veto. Kelly was saying every time she went out, no matter what hand or what color wine it was, she always had the poison in her right hand. Always.
Mm.
Whether she kept it or whether she gave it to somebody else, she always Oh, it was Ava was the first one. Ava and Keanu, and Ava poisoned herself accidentally.
Oh, that's right.
It was
Yeah.
so funny. I thought it was Kelly, but it was Ava. It was funny. But yes, so we get down to Mickey and Vince are the final two, and Mickey wins. So Mickey gets the veto, power of veto. So of course she gets to pull herself off the block.
Yep.
So then they go into this big long thing about Vince and Keanu and Rachel. And I saw some of this in the live feeds earlier, but the way they edited it was really good. And they said Keanu says to Vince that he needs to put Rachel up as the Rena, because he wants her out, but he can't take the shot, but Vince can. Well, Vince tells Rachel that. Hey, why is Keanu saying that I should take the shot because he can't? Well, then Rachel runs right to Keanu. Hey, why did you tell Vince this, that, or the other? Then Keanu goes right back to Vinny. Hey, Rachel said that you said that I said that. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Rachel is done with Keanu now. They're done. Not anymore. We're done.
Right.
And then they show the drama of Lauren's birthday party.
The dramata, as Rachel called it.
The dramata. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the live feeds or heard about it in your live feed recaps,
Hmm.
but it was Lauren's birthday and they all had, I think, pizza and cupcakes or something. They had stuff for her birthday. And they were all sitting around the table. And I forget who came up with this idea, but they said, hey, let's go around the room and say something nice about the person next to you. So I didn't even catch this during the time it happened. And live feeds, I can't rewind them. And I don't know if I can record them and rewind them. So I didn't catch it until the edit. And while Catherine was talking about Vinny, because he was sitting on her left, she was saying all these things, and Rachel thought it was fake as F. And I don't know if she did this intentionally, but knowing Rachel, she probably did.
It
She
looked intentional,
she
at least in the edit. Her face.
Right. The way she
Yeah.
was like guzzling her glass of wine and then she gets up, oh, I need some more wine while she was talking.
Yeah.
And everybody thought it was, I mean, nobody really thought anything of it until Kelly started then bringing up drama saying, oh, did you see what Rachel did? Rachel did that. She didn't want to hear Catherine say nice things about Vinny. So she did that and da 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 da.
I mean, Kelly clocked it. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what happened.
And then uh after that, they show them all out in the backyard, and Rachel was being a see you next Tuesday to her. She really
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Oh
She
no,
was
I'm
being an
seeing a
asshole.
panic. Oh no, we don't want you here. Oh no, I don't want a hug from you. Good night. And Kelly's hugging everybody else. And she's like, what did I do? What did I do? And at that point, Kelly was very quiet and mousy and, she should have had a
Right.
backbone and stood up for herself.
Yeah. And been
You
like, what
know?
the fuck, Rachel?
Yeah,
Speak
she
your
said,
truth if you have a problem with me. Like,
what did I do? I don't know what. Do you guys know what I did? Oh, I don't know what I did. No, Kelly. Yeah, I said that. That's what you did. Call her out on it.
yeah.
Nobody wants to call Rachel out on her. And so then,
Which I think Rachel would love. I think Rachel would love to be called out so she could fight about it because I think Rachel loves to argue like
oh
that, you
yeah, and
know?
she's so bored. These newbies don't know how to play.
Right.
Well, during the live feeds, they showed more about this and the aftermath and Kelly. So she gets upset, obviously. She doesn't go to bed. She goes upstairs and tries to find Vinny to tell him what happened and how Rachel's being so mean. But Vinny's in the DR, the diary room, so he can't console her. So
She's
she
just
goes,
crying in the HOH alone.
yeah, and then she comes out and says, Keanu, come in here. And he went in for a minute and then leaves. And then Will and Mickey, who were sitting right next to the whole thing that happened in the backyard, seeing Rachel do all of this, they knew what happened. So they go trucking upstairs to the HOH. Kelly, why are you upset? What's going on? What happened? Oh, why are you playing dumb as dumb? They knew exactly what happened. And they
Right.
had already heard the whole story about Kelly starting drama because Ashley gets involved, and it's like, oh, well, Kelly said this and this, and she's mad because Rachel took a White Claw and went outside and wouldn't let Kelly have it and did it. So there was even more drama that they didn't show on this episode.
Yeah.
So it was crazy, but it ended up that, and they didn't really show a lot of this either. I mean, they can only show so much,
Right.
but there was so much in the live feeds back and forth about whether or not he was going to renom Rachel or Catherine. And
Mhm.
in the edit, they didn't show the debate and the whole thing about Catherine at all.
Right.
And then you get, to the renomination, and boom, Catherine go up. And if you hadn't watched the live feeds, you wouldn't have known
Right.
why that happened or the whole thing.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I generally listen to the live feed recap every day, and then at the end of the week I listen to all of those first, and then at the end of the week after all of the episodes have come out, I sit and watch through all of the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just such a different picture of
Right.
what I've gotten from the live feeds. Like, I
Right.
was also surprised, well, one, just like you said, they didn't show, like, how much it was debated between Rachel and Catherine, and then
Right.
they also showed, like, hardly anything between Vince and Morgan, which they were, like, all over each other all week, like,
Right.
and it was just like, I it's just so, I mean, and of course, it's like, yeah, there's so much footage. So it's like,
Exactly.
how do you tell the story that you wanna tell in the time that you have? And,
Right.
especially because this week was cut short by 30 minutes because they did the unlocked segment as part of the Sunday episode.
Right.
Um,
And as much as I love the Will, his DVR thing and how long that went on, and some of the clips, it was at home when he was at home, but I mean, they could have put something about Catherine being a possible renom. They didn't put
right,
anything, I don't think, in that show,
right.
you know? But one thing I did think was kind of funny. I was laughing. Um, Vince is very impressionable. And
Yes.
Rachel knew this, that whoever the last person was that was going to talk to him before the veto ceremony was going to be in his head, and that's probably where they were going to go. And so Rachel was in the HOH room. She wasn't going to leave. And Keanu kept coming in. Hey, I'd like to talk to him. She's like, talk to him. And she was not going anywhere. She did not want
Mhm.
Keanu to be the last person in his head so that he would talk him, Vince, into nominating Rachel. And
Right.
he'd hold the door out for her. Go. No, go. I'm fine. You go. No, you go. And
Yeah,
you could
Rachel was,
tell,
like, not giving up.
not at all. But in the end, she was safe. She didn't get nominated. And then we get to Thursday night, eviction night.
Day 52.
Yay, we get to see Julie again in her beautiful self.
Yeah, Vince is still crying.
Yep. They talk about Catherine, Kelly, Keanu, Lauren. They show all them and how they're so upset about nominations and that he missed a big chance to take a big shot at a big target. And that's when they show a little bit then about Ava's eating habits, and I wrote, ugh, so annoying.
That's so funny. I didn't even see it.
Oh God, she just, ugh, it was terrible. So then, Rachel and Keanu are arguing in the kitchen. She's like, go
Mhm.
away. You're obsessed with me. Go away. And she's trying to unload the dishwasher.
Dishwasher,
Well,
yeah.
you never clean and you never cook. So I have to be in here and I have to do it. And he's trying to make eggs, you know.
Right.
And then they show Keanu and Vince in the gym. And Keanu is being an ass to him. And they don't show it in the edit, but I watched it that on the live feeds, and he was not nice to him at all. And in the live feeds, I was crying. Vince was sobbing, talking about this is what happens in my real life. I make bad decisions in my real life. Remember, he's the 34-year-old living in his mom and dad's basement, right? And so I have a 30-year-old, 34-year-old that was on my couch for a long time till I had to get eviction papers, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, and so I was crying. My mom heart, went out to Vinny. Oh, Vinny, he made me cry. But Keanu was being an ass to him. And then what the live feed didn't show, because, a lot of times they will be right back and they break in and you don't see everything. They didn't show where Keanu gets down on the floor with him and they have that moment. Come on, man, I need you. I need you to come with me.
I
I'm
need
gonna
you to
really
choose me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was crying even more. I'm like, come on, guys. And
Yeah, he's like, "I'm trying to lift you up. Like,
right.
I'm choosing you and you're." He
Yeah.
said, "A rising tide raises all boats," which I thought
Yeah.
was very poetic.
Yeah. So I
Um,
was like, oh, Keanu. Because at first, what they did show in the live feed, they didn't show that tender moment. They didn't show. They just showed him ripping him a new one when they first went in there. And I'm like, okay, calm down now. You're being mean. And then that's ended up in the edit. And I'm like, oh, I was crying.
yeah.
There is crying in Big Brother, Rob. So let's see. After that, hilarious. Hilarious. Okay. So Ashley and Lauren are having this conversation
Oh, right.
in the train room, right? And then after Ashley leaves, they're talking about Ava and they're saying things. Oh, I'm not going to vote for Ava. She's leaving, blah, blah, blah. Because Ava evidently was still on the block. Anyway, she was up. The train room is where they have double bunk beds, 3 double bunk beds along the wall. She was up on the top of the far bed from where they were standing, kind of in the middle of the room. And she was sleeping, they thought.
Well, I don't
At
even think they thought she was in there. I don't think they realized it at first.
at first, but then I saw in the live feeds, she's like, oh crap. And
Lauren was
then
like, "Oh shit, yeah."
Lauren goes in there, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then she runs up to the HOH and she's like, oh, I think I screwed up. I screwed up. And then later they show Ashley coming up there and she's freaking out too. So they show in the live feeds that even more. All they showed in the live feed was Ava laying there. But in the edit, when you did it, what we didn't see, Ava was awake the entire time and heard the whole thing. And they show in the edit, she goes, huh, and she wakes up. I mean, she heard the whole thing. It was hilarious.
Pops her head up and like as soon as they leave the room, she like pops her head up and her eyes are like kind of like a little meerkat just like darting around like she's
And
like,
she's
"I've
like,
never heard a full gameplay conversation about myself." Like,
exactly. It was so funny. So it was really cool. She had heard it all, and both Ashley and Lauren are freaking out and talking about it. But Vince knew if Ava heard, she's gonna come up and talk to me and want me to break the tie in her favor. So
right.
I'm gonna know if she heard, if she's gonna come up. But they never showed her going up and talking to him about it. So
Yeah.
she probably kept it to herself. I don't know if she told Will, if they showed her telling Will about it.
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah. So then they show more fake tears from Catherine in the bathroom with Rachel. And I was like, gross. She's such a terrible actress.
That's
Uh,
another thing they didn't show was, like, Catherine was, like, out to get Rachel, like, all week, and she tried to start a rumor that Rachel had a hairy neck, and, like, I don't it was just, like, so silly,
I
like
did not hear that. That must have
yeah.
been part of the live feeds I missed. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and so, because I also listened the podcast that I listened to is called Rob Has a Podcast, and they also did an exit interview with her, and they asked her about it, about the hairy neck thing. She's like, "Well, there's, like, nothing to do, so I might as well, like, also, like, if I'm already out to get Rachel, like, I might as well just, like, also make up this rumor." Like and they
Of
were like,
all
"That she had
things.
a hairy neck? Does she have a hairy neck?" And she was like, "No, but, like, that's what makes it so fun." That
That's
she, like,
cr-
waxes her neck or something.
that's crazy. I had not heard that. I had
Yeah.
not heard that. That was funny.
So I
Yeah,
was so surprised to see Catherine be like to, like, even approach Rachel at all. But she was,
right.
just trying to get her vote, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. She just those fake tears. She just is terrible with them. And then she's wiping her face. I'm like, girl, what you wiping? What you wiping? There ain't nothing on there to wipe your face. Ugh. So
Well,
anyway, they go and it's time for the BB blockbuster, and we've got Ava and Kelly and Catherine. And I don't know if you noticed this or not. They showed everybody sitting there before the competition or whatever. No one else was dressed the same except Catherine and Ava both had red pants and a black top.
and
Why
Kelly was
didn't
wearing a
Kelly?
black dress or romper or something, yeah.
Yeah, why? And then the two that have that outfit end up on the block? Why? What was that planned? Did they know that?
Yeah, I don't know, cause sometimes they all as a group will coordinate, but you're
Yeah,
right, I looked because it was so noticeable, the black
right.
like, the red pants and the black top, and
Yeah,
so I looked to see if everybody else was wearing red and black, but they weren't, it was just those 2, and then Kelly didn't have red on, but she did have all black on.
yeah. So I
I don't know why, but
it
I
was
also
crazy.
noticed it, yeah.
Yeah. So the hilltop heist was the competition, and there's a large ramp that they have to roll this red ball down, but they have to put these things in a certain spot to make the ball roll a certain way to get to where it needs to be, and the first one to get their ball to fall off the end is the winner. And man, I'll tell you, Ava's was right there. She was really close to winning. But Kelly won. Of course, she is a queen of getting herself off the block. And Kelly won
I
again.
I didn't love this comp because it gave you, like, options of where to put the blocks of wood. It would, like, give you 2 to 3 options, and I was like, "Well, that makes it a much easier game than if you just had to, like, randomly guess where to put your wood blocks to get it to go." So
Yeah. There's another game that they do that you have a board and you have to put all these different size wheels that have like the little spokes that connect. They're like gears. And you got
mhm.
to put them all in the right order to get from the bottom gear that has the handle on it to the top gear that turns something to make something happen, and then you're the winner. So the first person that can build these gears all the way up is the winner. But in that one, there's no key. There's no roadmap. There's no, like you said, you know where to put those blocks. You either put A, B, or C and drop your ball and it goes in. This had nothing. And you had all different size gears, and it's
Yeah,
got to fit just right or it won't work. And yeah, you're right. They didn't give them a whole lot of choices. Now, I don't
right.
know if they had to do that because it was such a quick competition. They needed it done quickly.
Sure. Yeah, that
So,
makes sense since it was a blockbuster.
yeah. So they're talking about, and Will keeps bringing, no, Keanu keeps bringing this up. in the live feeds what the next HOH competition is going to be. And they all think it's going to be that slip and slide. And the slip and slide is where you have this little vessel, whether it be a little cup or whatever, and you got a big container of liquid at one end, and you have to dump it in this thing at the other end. And as the liquid goes up, there's a ping pong ball, and you got to get your ball out. And the first person to get their ball out, go back across and hit their buzzer is the winner. But they have shaving cream and dish soap on plastic stuff, and you got to go run back and forth on this slippery shit. They
That
all think
sounds
that's going to be.
so dangerous.
Yes, somebody twisted their ankle and ended up in a boot the rest of the season for that one. So that's what Keanu keeps swearing up and down it's going to be. And spoiler alert, he can't play in, in the next HOH. I'm just saying. But anyway, so they think that's the next one that's coming up. But I don't remember if it's a veto competition. I don't think it's a veto. I think it's HOH. Is BB Comics. And that's got to be coming up pretty soon, too.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about that one before.
Yeah, that one's awesome. They have to go out in the yard one at a time, and they get up on this zip line and they go across. And as they go across, they have to look over, and there's all this row of every person in the house has a caricature comic hero made of them, and they have to come back to where they're get down from there, come back, and then put it up. And they have two pictures, and they have to figure out which one is identical to the one that's hanging up. And like,
Okay.
someone might have a scarf and it's green in one picture and red in the other, and you got to get all the correct ones and hit the button. And if there's any wrong, you don't know which one's wrong, you got to go back up and zip line
Zip
again and
line.
compare. And I love BB Comics. I
That
think
sounds fun.
that and OTEV are my absolute favorite competitions. Every
Yeah.
year they do it. I love them. So anyway, that's going to come up pretty soon too. But
Nice.
Kelly wins. She takes herself off the block. The girls get to do their speeches. They get one final chance to have their house guests sway their votes. And it was like Catherine was trying to get people to say that, whoever sits up here next to Ava is going to go home. So you're going to be up there next. So you might as well keep
Right.
me. So she's gone. But she was kind of stumbling her words, and her points, I don't think, got across very well.
Yeah.
And then Ava's like, yeah, I love you, Catherine. I want to be here. So house guest, YOLO. It's down. And for those of you who don't know, YOLO means you only live once. So YOLO.
I know. I kind of love that.
She's so darn chill. She's just like chill.
Yeah.
So then they start voting, and Keanu comes out and he says, hey, what's up, Mama J? And that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Not because Julie's not a mom and her name starts with J, but when I was parenting a child who was on travel basketball teams and school basketball teams, I was Mama J, because I was the team mom that everybody came to my house. I fed everybody. I took all the kids to the tournaments. I got the hotel rooms, and they all stayed with me, and I was Mama J. How dare he call her that? But anyway, Catherine gets voted out by a score of 7-1.
I
Lauren is the
know.
only person that gave her the sympathy vote. And so that was the end of that week of Big Brother. And they talk about next week, and they talked about it in the live feed, how awesome it was. Angela, who was the I want to say older, but the more mature lady of the season last year, she's coming back on as a guest in the house. So she's involved with the veto competition, I think. and or HOH, one of the competitions Angela's going to be involved with. And she's also going to be on the Amazing Race that starts at the end of September. Lots of Big Brother players, as we've talked about before, are on the Amazing Race this season. So I
Yeah.
really look forward to seeing her and everyone else that's on the show.
Yeah.
And that was it for Big Brother.
Yeah,
Week
week
number what?
seven?
Six,
Seven,
seven?
I think.
I
Yeah.
know, it's like
Week
flying
7.
by. And
Yeah,
now,
it is flying by.
now is the time. Woo, we are gonna get. It's gonna fly because they had an extra person this year. I think this year there's not going to be one but two double
Double
evictions.
evictions. I've been hearing them talking
Yeah,
about what the possibilities are since there were extra
yeah.
people. Yeah.
So, and I found it interesting. I heard in the live feeds, and I know who gets nominated, and they are still nominating three people. So they don't
Right.
think because they're doing three people, because they have to have that BB blockbuster, that there's not enough time in one episode to do the BB blockbuster, then turn around and do a double eviction and have a full week of HOH, veto competition, renoms, and eviction. Usually, when they start the double eviction, the AI arena was done. The three
Right.
nominees was done. So
Interesting.
I don't think next weekend, I don't think next week will be a double. But they're thinking the next 2 weeks after that will
Would
both be
be.
double evictions.
Dang. And this next coming week, week 8, that's the last person that goes before jury, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I do know who gets HOH and I do know the noms.
Yeah.
Because I do keep up. Because all of
Yeah.
that happens from Thursday to Sunday before the edits even come out for the next week. And
Right. So it
so
was
yeah.
hard. Like I watched it as I there it's on my DVR, the regular episodes, and so I'll watch it later, and usually it's at night and I'm tired and I'm falling asleep. So yesterday I was cutting out a bunch of stuff, or the day before, I don't know, cutting more bags for project bags. And as I'm doing it, I just had them all playing and I'm taking notes as I'm cutting and
Yeah.
So sometimes, and there's a few things like I missed because I was dozing off, and oh yeah, oh, I forgot that conversation, and so I wrote it down.
Yeah.
So, but that was that week. I look forward to seeing how the edits come with the person that has HOH this next coming week. And
Agreed. I'm pumped about this next week.
yeah, it's going to be cool because somebody new wins the HOH, right? That person I don't think has won before, have they?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. And woo, it's going to be a good week. So
Yeah.
if you're out there listening, make sure you tune in next week, not only to us at Reality Stitches, but watch CBS so you can see it for yourself because it's going to be a good week. It's going to
Yeah.
be a good week.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Have you watched
So
any other reality TV stuff this
I
week?
have actually. I decided I was going to do a little bit of stitching one morning instead of sewing because, I need to get working on my whips. And I turned on Below Deck. the
Fun. Which one? Just
one
the
the one that Frasier is the chief stew.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
not sure. I haven't been watching it recently, but I love Below Deck.
oh my gosh, this one is so good. It's so good.
I worked
And
on it when I worked at NBC. We did a ton of Below Deck and so yeah, it's got such good drama.
yes, oh my, this one is just like one of the third stew. She's like not experienced at all, and she's like messing around with one of the deckhands is a female who is loves females, but this chick that's the third stew is hooking up with everyone on the boat, male and female. And I'm telling you, this season is just crazy. And one of the groups of people that come on the show or on the boat to, go on a cruise, whatever, were male porn stars.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I mean, if you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. So that whole season, and it's just people fighting and drinking too much and doing stupid things. And it's really good.
Yeah.
And it was the one, not Captain Sandy. It's
Mhm.
not her boat. I think it's the one that Captain Lee used to be on.
Okay.
And now the captain, I can't remember his name. Carrie, maybe, the guy that's bald. He's the
Mm.
captain.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's really good. So we'll see that. I think I watched that and I caught up a little bit on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. No, Orange County. Orange County. They should be coming to the reunion pretty soon. Tamara, of course, having a meltdown and quitting the show, and yeah, they all say it's just for drama. She's not really going to therapy, and yeah, that's all the Bravo shows.
Right.
But that is all the reality I've watched. Have you watched anything else?
Just Bachelor in Paradise. Its finale is this upcoming week. So that'll be interesting. And then I watched the Love Island reunion.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so
Is
I
it good?
watched it. Yeah, yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Have you been watching the show of them like after, like not in the villa, outside the villa?
No, I haven't watched Beyond the Villa. Mostly cuz it's just like I just don't have time.
Right. I
Um
watched when it first came out, I watched a few episodes and it was the same thing with, oh, what's her name?
Kaylor.
Kaylor and her wine. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to keep my distance and eat. I can't watch. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go back and see that, but I'll probably watch the reunion and call it good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like, I hate that it took so long because it's like been a month at least,
Hmm.
maybe longer that it's not been on. And so it was kind of nice to like have them back again like for a brief moment, but um I'm glad that it's I guess done now. And then Love Island Games, which I've never watched Love Island Games before, but it starts in 3 weeks. Um and Ariana is hosting it. I don't really know what the format is. So, but it'll
Yeah,
be. I know they're doing it live, like how they do Love Island, which I think is new. I think normally it's a more edited format, but
right. So,
um,
have you ever watched Special Forces?
no, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, so did I. And the Ryan and Trista, I think the first Bachelor,
Bachelor, yeah,
she was on it, and he was making these really like cryptid posts on social media, and so everybody in Bachelor Nation, everybody's like having a meltdown, thinking that they're getting a divorce, and they're like they've been married forever, and it was the
yeah.
Bachelor or Bachelorette, and so it ends up she was on that show.
Okay,
And so I don't know if it was the most recent episode or ones before, but I've never watched that. I keep forgetting about it until somebody mentions it in a different like interview or a different show. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that Special Forces because it's
yeah.
like a boot camp for reality TV people or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I haven't watched it, and then they also announced this week that the 3rd season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives
Oh
will come
yeah,
on in November, I think.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
I'm pumped about
another
that.
another show I started watching. I cannot remember the name of it, but on Bravo, the show called Botched with
Yeah.
what's his name? Oh, Terry DeBro, who is a
Mhm.
plastic surgeon. Botched is where they fix other people's messed up plastic surgery, and they televise it, and whatever. Well, there is another show that came on. Can't remember the name of it, and he's on, and some other psychiatrist type lady is on, therapist, and they're talking to reality stars who have had plastic surgery that now want to undo that. Whether
Yes,
it take
Michelle Visage is the host.
Yeah, whether it's taking out implants that are too big, or
Yeah.
fixing their arms that Kim from Tardy for the Party and Real Housewives of Atlanta, her and her daughter Brielle are both on there. They want to take fillers out. They want to fix their arms. That was a botched surgery on Kim. Bunch of people are on that show that look totally fake, that want to tone down, and it was really interesting. And then they go and they can walk through this door and they can choose to not get it, or then they can come back through the door with a change. And I only watched the first maybe 2 episodes, and I haven't watched any more. But the other person that I thought really needs it and needs the shrink was Aubrey O'Day. Do you know who Aubrey is?
Her name sounds familiar to me.
Okay. P. Diddy. Let's roll that tape. Um, Back in the 80s, 90s, whenever it was, early 2000s, I can't remember how far back it goes. P. Diddy did a show called Making the Band.
Okay.
And so it went on, and he ended up getting 5 girls, and they made the group Danity Kane. And
Okay.
Aubrey O'Day was one of the big stars in that.
Okay.
And when the whole thing went down with P. Diddy and what he did to one of the girls in the group, Aubrey wouldn't keep her mouth shut. And so, anyway, long story short, the band broke up. But I love me some Danity Kane. I play their music on my Apple Music constantly. I love that group. I love girl groups anyway. So, she's been on, love shows. She's been a lot of reality TV. She had her own show for a while. They tried to get some of the girls back together and make 3 of them start the group again, and all of
Yeah.
this. Well, anyway, she has gone overboard. She was with Vinny and they were going to get married. This was a guy from uh Jersey Shores.
Yes, love
Polly.
Jersey Shore.
Polly.
Yes.
Polly was with Aubrey O'Day.
Okay, that's probably where I know her name from then.
Okay, so they were
Yeah.
together and evidently they were going to get married. And so they went to marriage boot camp. So they were on that reality show, or
Okay.
they've been on other dating shows, and maybe that's how they got together. I don't know. But she's been on a lot of reality TV. She hasn't done a whole lot yet, but man, she's just like her face. And it's sad because she's a very good singer. I loved her voice, her talent. She's very good. So I'm hoping that they do something with working on her mental as well as her physical. That's all I got to say, Aubrey. Come on, Aubrey O'Day, get with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think people should definitely do whatever they want to do to their bodies, but you most importantly want people to just be able to love themselves, and
Right.
um so it's
But they got to be good in here too.
right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where
You
you
get,
got to figure out
yeah,
how to love yourself no matter what you look like,
exactly. Exactly. And
So
so
that's
I don't know if it's
interesting.
her or if it was Kim or both of them. They're talking, and the premise of the show is to get something undone.
Mhm.
And she's like, there's a guy in there that got a butt lift and he wants his butt redone, and some of the other things. I forget who the names of some of these people. I don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
Um, but she was like, oh yeah, and I would like to get, and I would like to get, and I would like to get, and she's talking about all the new stuff she wants. And they're like, that's not why you're here. So get a
Right.
clue. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I can't remember the name, botched, redone, or
Yeah, I can't remember the name either, but
yeah, it was pretty
um
good. It's a
But
good premise.
Michelle Visage is one of the main judges on RuPaul's Drag Race, and
Oh,
so
okay. I
she's who's
wonder.
hosting it, and she had implants at one time, and then several years ago had them removed, and
Gotcha.
so
I wondered where her
yeah,
tie was and how I knew she was like in reality TV somehow because these
yeah,
are
and
all
she
reality.
used to be in the girl group Seduction.
Oh,
She was the one of I don't remember who all was in that group, but she was a singer in that group.
gotcha.
Um, but yeah,
Gotcha.
she's like the number 2 judge on RuPaul's Drag Race other than RuPaul. So,
Gotcha. Okay. See, I haven't watched that show very often either, so I didn't get the connection. So,
yeah,
but I think that's all the reality TV I watched this time. I wish Traders would come on soon.
me too. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
soon, I
gonna.
mean, soon we're gonna have, I mean, September, a lot of good stuff comes out.
Oh yeah.
Survivor starts and the Big Brother Amazing Race starts.
Yes. So I think that starts even before we're done talking about Big Brother. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have some long episodes. Maybe we'll have to, you know, do segments and talk about Big Brother and then do a Survivor segment because we got to talk about Survivor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So what
have you done
oh
any
good.
stitching this week?
Not a ton. I did actually on Wednesday hung out with a neighbor of mine and taught her how to cross stitch, which
Awesome.
was much harder than I anticipated. Like to teach someone, I've just
Yeah.
never had to do it, and I've been stitching now for 5 years, so it all just comes so naturally. So
Yeah.
having to go back to the beginning
That's awesome
was
though. That you're
interesting. It was so fun.
and that you're meeting new neighbors because you just moved into a new place, and so that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was super fun, but I did get some Alex and I are still watching through House of the Dragon, so I did get some more progress on my
Oh yeah.
border. Um I've moved over, or I've gotten down a little further, and I ended up doing this whole line, and it's like one solid line and then it's a line that goes like every other.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I had started going down and realized I had started the every other too close, like on the wrong
Oh
other.
no.
So then I had to go back and frog like that whole like every
Ugh,
other line, and
I
I was
hate
like,
when that happens.
"Oh." It was like everything I had done in that episode I had to like go back and redo. I was like, this is so
So
frustrating.
yeah, I hate frogging, but sometimes you can just fudge it. But if it's a line like that, and then you got to count off of that line to
Yeah.
something else, you can't fudge it. You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta
I was
just
like, I can't fudge this one, so
yeah. I did
I
that
was
once
sad.
with a house. I had the roof all done, but I had one less row or column this way. And if I
Mhm.
didn't take it out, my windows wouldn't fit on my house. And my house had 4 windows and then a door. So there was no way to fudge that. I had to rip it out and redo the whole roof again.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've
But
definitely had to rip out large sections, and I was trying to tell my neighbor Mags about it, like, or explain what frogging was, and if you make a mistake, how you can go back and fix it, um, and so she was doing the pattern that I had gotten for, because I just made her a little kit, like I have, a ton of stash, and I went on to Etsy and found like a simple pattern and like printed
mhm.
that off for her, and it had like 4 smiley faces and like some little like sparkles, and so she was like coming around like with the smiley face, and she was so excited that like that it like matched,
But
and
it
I was
lined
like,
up.
yeah, I was like, it's very exciting when borders match.
Oh yes. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Sometimes like a lot of samplers have a border,
Yeah.
and there's two schools of thought that you either do the whole border to make sure it lines up first and then do the little motifs on the inside, or you just wing it and go. And a lot of people starting samplers start in the upper left. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, I started in the upper left, but I doubt
Yeah.
that I'll do the whole border first. I'll probably go like this way.
Yep. Yep.
Diagonal across the full piece.
Yeah. So I started Teresa Koget's Land That I Love that
Mhm.
came out a few years ago. I started that, and that border has like a regular border, and then it has like a vine that's the flowers that goes around. And so I thought, oh, well, I hear people, the lost tubers, talking about doing the borders and making sure they match. So I did that, and I'm stitching it on linen over two, and it's off by one. And I'm not ripping it out. I counted and I looked and I counted. Well, ends up I'm restarting it anyway, and I'm getting. I put it on my last two floss tubes ago. Hey, anybody want this? Let me know. Send me your address.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. And it's on 40 count mallow, which is kind of a even weave, not really a lint. I said, whoever stitches this, you're gonna just take it like this, or you can rip it out. But
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I started it over on a 46 count. I don't even remember what I started it on, but it looks a lot better, and I'm sticking with it.
Nice.
So one thing I did do over the week is I talked before about all these little tags I'm gonna put on my projects.
Yeah.
I got them all done, and I have
Hell yeah.
118 of them. And on each one, I put a number, and I have what fabric is I stitched it on.
Incredible.
And
Incredible.
I'm upstairs again, so I will show you next time when I get my crap together and I'm downstairs. I'll show you. It looks so pretty to see the whole line in my bookcase of all, or I have a calyx shelf from IKEA, the little cubby holes, and
Yeah.
they're lined up in there, and all these little tags on the edges. So organized, so organized.
That's
But
awesome.
this is what I stitched on.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, so I did get a lot done. I'm almost ready to put it on
Oh,
my
oh,
yeah.
look
This
at
is
that
on
ghost with the bow. Like, I just
uh
can't.
this is Primrose Cottage. They're so cute. They have such cute ones. I just have to finish the pumpkin, and then the word kisses, and then there's just a few little things, and it'll be done. And I should have brought it up here, but I went to Family Dollar, and they have this metal ghost that's holding this little pumpkin. And I showed you the wood ghost that I was going to
Yeah.
put it on, but I think I'm going to put it on that metal one. It's going to be so cute.
Oh,
And
that would be
then
cute.
I didn't bring it up, but I have a Twilight book, one of the series. I don't know whose it was. It just is at my house, and the cover's off of it. And so the book is black. And when I get this one done, I'm going to put it on that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to put it so that the spine of the book is up here. So it'll open, like this. And so it'll stand up.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. So, and then I'm going to decide which one I like better and then give the other person. Because whatever, I'm doing this because I have, in a swap that I do with Stacy, her, I've got my dog's training thing around my neck. What am I doing? Anyway, Tracy Stitch or Stacy Stitches. She's Thread the Needle Stitchery. She opened a LNS in Tennessee somewhere, and she does a seasonal swap. And you sign up, and then early, like right after the season starts, like in the summer solstice, when we switch from spring to summer and then summer to fall, those are the
Yeah.
days you got to get your thing to the person by that time, is when you got to get it in the mail.
Ooh, and it's
So,
coming up because my
yeah.
birthday is the beginning of fall, or like is always like the day or two around when fall starts.
So as soon as the summer one hit and the summer ones went out, she draws for fall. So you got quite a bit of
Yeah.
time. And so my person, even though it's the fall swap, she said she likes Halloween better than fall. And so that's why I'm doing
Mm,
all these Halloween stitches. And I even
yeah.
got my Halloween pajamas out, and I've been wearing Halloween pajamas. And Walmart has the cutest Halloween pajamas this year. And I don't know if you or any of our listeners have ever bought pajamas in Walmart. They are the best. I love them.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I
I
also love
love
Walmart
them.
pajamas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
fall is Monday the 22nd. So soon, in a few weeks.
yes. Yes. And so I have been cutting a lot more because I got to get this project done and in the mail even early because I've got to get these project bags made for the Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. And I got a bunch of Teresa Koget's new Christmas fabric called Naughty or Nice.
Oh, that, Santa Claus with the white coat with, like, the red tint is so pretty.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all beautiful.
she has this is Ted and Anne, Santa with Ted and Anne. That was, I
Oh,
think, a Patreon, and then
yeah.
it may came out as a pattern. The pink coat Santa was out, the blue coat Santa was out, and then the green coat Santa isn't on this particular piece of fabric, but that's been out. So she's released a lot of these in cross stitch patterns,
Mhm.
but this fabric line just came out. So I cut a ton of those so I can put some on my Etsy and save some for the retreat.
Yeah.
On my Etsy, I had the French General fabric that I showed you guys last time, the blue with the pink. I
Yeah.
went and got some more French General. So
Ooh,
there's
pretty.
going to be a bunch of these on my Etsy and then also out on um to save to go to, oh, where is it? I'm going to the retreat. And then I got some more of Teresa Koget's Ghoul Friends. So I made a bunch of vinyl front ones. I showed you guys those last time. But I got stuff to do fabric ones too.
Oh,
And the
how
purple,
precious.
yeah, the purple top band. And then look at the back's gonna be these boots.
So cute.
Yeah, Teresa is such an artist and I just love her so much. I also there's oh, the name of the fabric line is Home Sweet Haunt. And I had a light color version of this particular pattern. You know, when fabric lines come out, they have it several different colorways. Well, I had one with the cream color background and then the oh, I got some right here. So I'm making these little vinyl front bags, just little tiny ones that could be like for notions. And then this was the top band that was at the top.
Yeah.
So I ended up finding another colorway at this particular store I was at, and it's a black colorway.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. I'm probably gonna have to buy some of those.
And then the back will have this stripe on it as well. So
Love
I got a
that.
bunch of those that I got cut out and ready to go. I went and spent a whole bunch of money yesterday at 3 different stores that sold fabric. And I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning cutting fabric. It was
Oh
so
my
fun.
gosh.
Yeah. So, and then one more I got, and this is just what I cut up. I have so many more things cut out. This is, and I made a couple of these before, and there were two out there, and they sold immediately. But this is what they call a cheater print that looks like it's quilted, but it's not.
Oh, cute.
And then it'll have this purple band at the top, and then purple on the back.
Yeah.
So that is that. And then I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring that pile up, but Blackbird Designs has re-released a quilt pattern called the Raven, and it's applique and it is gorgeous. Well, the fabric that was used for that, they re-released it, and Moda, fabric lines that these designers do, usually it's one and done. They estimate how many they think they're going to do. They fill a bunch of orders, and that's it. When it's gone, it's gone. They don't reprint them usually. Sometimes, like Lori Holt, she has a lot of her basics, and those are available all the time. They keep running, and those are like basic fabrics that go with any of her lines that are used as like backgrounds or dots or low volume, whatever. But Blackbird Designs and Moda re-released Wild Orchid, the whole line that was used for that quilt kit. So I just happened to be in one of my favorite little shops here locally, and they have the little squares that are mini charm packs. And those are the ones that everyone uses to make these crosshatch quilt type bags.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be Blackbird Design Wild Orchid bags. I can't wait. I can't wait to get those. This particular shop didn't have the yardage of that. So I'm definitely going to order yardage and then just make a bunch of those. And then I don't know if I showed you before the notebook covers that I was making.
Yeah, yeah.
I found not one, but two jelly rolls that I had that I didn't even know are
How
Tula Pink.
fun.
Tula Pink. Everybody loves Tula Pink.
Yeah,
So
those look
I'm
so fun.
I'm gonna make there's Como Stitches. Jess, who has she's got she's got a Patreon even now. Um, she does a lot of project bags, and she made some that are used the jelly rolls to, the 2.5 inch strips to make it. And I thought, oh, I'm going to make some project bags out of that as well, because everybody for some reason loves Tula Pink. I don't know why. She's a fabric designer and she does a lot with like animals.
Yeah,
And so she's got lots of birds. She does a lot with very bright colors and a lot of color, bright colors. And so,
yeah.
sewing these together and making a project bag, just sewing strips together. So I'm going to
Cute.
do some of those too. A lot more of the crosshatch quilt ones. I have so many bags cut out and ready to go. So sweatshop is opening soon.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I told my friend she wants me to teach her how to quilt. And she went out and bought a sewing machine and the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, I'm going to employ you in my sweatshop to come and sew seams, or she could iron on all the interfacing that I use. And I'm
Yeah.
going to employ somebody in my sweatshop because I got a lot to do. But I thought there was going to be 170 or so. I don't know why I had that number in my head that's how many attendees. And come to find out, vendors, hosts, everything total, there's only 65 people.
Okay.
So that's not as many table gifts, and gifts that you have to make everybody. Like I made those little Kleenex holders for everybody at my quilting retreat.
Mhm.
Um, but there's not going to be that many people buying as I thought either. So
Mm.
I don't need to take as much as I thought. I'm going to take a lot. I'm going to take a lot. But
Yeah.
there'll be just more stuff to put on my Etsy. So that's good
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Or some of the stuff I might send to Barbara Hills maybe at Stitchaway that's in January.
Mhm.
If she's, does like the annex like at StitchCon.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll think about it, but I got a lot of sewing to do.
Yeah. Well, that'll be fun.
Yay! And I love it. It's my therapy, and I like it. My Zen time. I found
Perfect.
some music I like. I crank it up on my speaker, or now I'm watching the live feed. So,
Right, yeah.
and I don't have to focus and watch it. I can sew and just listen to it.
Right.
So that's fun too.
Nice. Well, I'm
Yeah.
excited to see those bags come together.
Oh yeah, you'll see them all over my social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm about to do some reels and some, you know, like put stuff up on my story and just do another blast to get people out there. It seems like somebody who's bought a bag when I know there's a retreat going on, like a lot of people were at Hobby House, and if they're sitting with other stitchers and they bring out one of my bags they bought, I can tell because my views and my visits to my shop go through the roof, and I'll get a bunch of orders all at the same time from a bunch of people, and I'm like, I bet they're all together at that retreat.
Right. Yeah.
Which is good. So get it out there. And if you're a maker, make sure you put your label on it so they know who's making it and who made the bag.
Yeah.
So when I send it out, I always send out a card that's a thank you, like postcard size. I put my business card in there, and every bag I make has my a label, either that one or the other bigger one that I have, so they
Yeah.
know who made it. So you can either get the credit or get more customers or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I got a lot of sewing to do. You got big plans for this week?
No, I need to unpack.
Yeah. I still have stuff I haven't unpacked from when I moved in 5 years ago. So
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my big,
to do list.
yeah. It's just to do laundry and unpack some more. So excited about this next week of Big Brother though.
Yes, this next week of Big Brother is going to be really good. Like I said, if you aren't a Big Brother watcher and you just listen to us or other podcasts or whatever, go watch it. It's going to be really good. And if you really want to dive in, go watch the live feeds. You'll get caught up real fast.
Yeah.
But if you don't have anything else, remember, keep your stitches tight.
And your alliance is tighter.
Woohoo! Have a good week.
Bye.